Hey, everybody. Shoving Nobody Else's Auto, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some live chat. Looks like we got a bunch of you on already, ready to go tonight. Mark's here with us. Jim's here. Jeff from Canada is on. Mark got his package with his prize from last month's big drawing. Super excited about it. And obviously, that's all thanks to Randy for the super cool custom artwork that he did for us. Lee from New York's here. Tweedly D's here with us. Let's see. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook. Tweedly D got his stuff. Great. Pete's here with us. Time to party. There we go. Kevin L's on. Likes the Cadillac. Yeah, we'll talk about the Cadillac here a little bit more soon. Weather here is beautiful. It's about 60 today, so it was wonderful here today. Frank's here. Dad's on with us, so Facebook does appear to be ticking along. Tony's on. Alan from Arizona. Michael Glagola's here. You guys keep coming back every week, making this thing what it is, so I super appreciate it. Bill Wagaman's here. David W. Try to keep up with things as we get ticking along here. Johnny Z made it. Randy's on with us. Time for episode number 152, as crazy as that sounds. John from San Antonio. Episode 152. Yep, last week would have technically been our 3rd-year anniversary. I think February 12th or something. No, February 12th was last week. February 14th, something like that, was when they first did this one originally. Alex is here with us. Scotty from SoCal's on. So yeah, technically, so we're like just past. This will be our first episode past technically the 3-year point. Insane that it's still going. Insane that you guys keep coming back and making it better all the time. Withrow's here. Dennis Chapman, James Erickson's on. But yeah. 152 times we've done this, and we're still going. Gary's here. As crazy as that sounds. Since we are going, let your friends know that we're on. If you're going to throw a share out there and know that we are on live, invite them over to come over and hang out. Journeyman Randy's here. Brian Dispatch made it. Martin Designs. So throw a share out there. Let your friends know we're on over. We're going to have a great time tonight. Auction boxes are piled because we didn't do auctions last week since we ran a short episode. So I didn't quit adding to them because of that. So I just dumped a few more things in. So it's going to be a good time tonight. We've got a magazine ready. We've got some badges, emblems, a promo. Plus, we're going to talk about the new raffle. Those boxes have been filling up nicely as well. So we're going to show you a few tidbits out of those. Ryan and Amy are here with us. A little bit of housekeeping as usual. Autocorrect. Double check your comment before you hit send. If I can't make it out, I will skip it because sometimes it changes stuff around and I can't follow what you're saying. So please double check your autocorrect. What's that? Oh, it popped up. Pete, watching an episode from over a year ago. We're introducing Primer. Is there a pretty girl? Yeah, that's right. Shayla calls her pretty girl. I call her Gray Kitty. We call her Dum Dum. She answers to whatever. Eloy made it. Mars, feels good to be here. Jason's got skin graft in the morning. Hopefully things are going better there. That's right, David W. 1 month till spring. Every nice day we get right now is 1 day closer to spring. So I'm going to take that as a win for sure. We'll throw that one up there too while we're trucking along here. If you were on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show YouTube channel if you want to comment, participate in the auctions, etc. If you just want to watch and hang out, you're perfectly fine there, but I cannot see those comments. Trolls, obviously, I'm going to ignore them. They want my attention because they can't get any from mommy. So I ignore them. You guys make sure they know they're not welcome, and that's been working out really well. Obviously, we don't want to make this thing go to subscriber only or even membership only to keep the trolls under control. So appreciate you guys' help with that. Super chats are awesome. Once in a while, you guys even throw a super chat out. That's always appreciated and super cool when you do that. Mark's on from Syracuse on Facebook. So Bill Diss checking in from Greensboro, North Carolina. Ozark Fox reporting for punishment. There we go. We'll just keep rolling those out there for you then. Anyway, what's been going on? First off, Next Sunday, I am probably going to be on the road. So if I've got time, we'll still try to jump on, but it will probably be just YouTube next Sunday. It's going to depend on how my schedule works out, but as of right now, I'll probably be on the road. So I'll try to jump on for a while. We'll do a little bit of open chat. If I find some stuff on the road, we may do a small auction on fresh meat if I can find some cool stuff. So we may have a small auction. It's going to be kind of up and down. I don't know what for sure how things are going to go, but we talked about skipping last week, obviously, and nobody wanted to skip. But so we'll probably try to do something next Sunday. Is it going to be right at 7? I'm going to shoot for that. If something changes, I will make a post on YouTube primarily. I'll also throw a note up on Facebook to remind everybody that will be YouTube only, and it will be whatever happens type thing. We'll jump on, we'll hang out, we'll talk about some stuff. Maybe I will have found some stuff by then that we can have a short auction of fresh meat, so to speak. Numero uno's here. Daniel's on with us. About all newer vehicles do have some sort of a build sheet in them for sure. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. That's right. Tweet the D fresh auction. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate that. So we'll see what happens. I doubt you guys want to skip. Scott's on with us on Facebook, so I'm sure you guys will want to jump on and hang out and do something. So we will plan on jumping on and hanging out and do something. We'll just see how things go and how things shake out. But I wanted to give you a heads up that next Sunday is going to be kind of up in the air. And you never know. Something may go haywire where I can't get on, where if I'm not at a stopping point or something where I can't, then I will definitely post that if something goes haywire where I'm not going to be able to get on at all. So, Auburn badge. So stay tuned next Sunday. Hopefully I'll find some cool stuff by Sunday night, and we'll have some really neat stuff that I don't even know what we'll have in the auction. I know what we got now because I've been filling these boxes for the last couple of weeks, but hopefully I'll find some stuff that I don't even know what it is yet because I don't even own it yet, but then we're going to transfer it on to you. So Chris Ortiz is here with us. Did anybody ever like the commercial 500 today? Did not watch any of it at all, so I don't know how the Daytona 500 went whatsoever. But we've already had a few comments on it. In fact, the one Barn Designs just commented as well, and Bill just threw it up too, on the 39 Cadillac, where we took it for a spin. We actually took it out and drove it around the block. PFF Flyers here, and drove it around the block out at Dad's house a few times, and it was super cool to take it out for a spin, run it around, and like I said, didn't get too carried away with it, but did get it out and got to drive it a little bit the other day and got some cool video of it. Dad was out driving it, and just like he just commented, the passenger in the back seat, as soon as Dad jumped in, his dog jumped in, and she had to go for a ride too. So X-Ray's here with us. But so that was fun doing that. Dad's been buffing on it this week. I think he spent like 8 or 9 hours the other day buffing on it. So we'll get a full good walk around on it once it's cleaned up again, so we can really get, we've looked at it several times, but we've never really got a good look at it, cleaned up, polished out, plus a lot of, there's some other pieces there. Some of the dash was apart, some of that's back together. We have never looked in the trunk. We've got the trunk open. So we've got some more cool stuff to show you, even though we've showed you a lot of the car, plus I'll sort through a little bit of the paperwork a little bit more. We'll dig into it. We'll kind of lay some of the paperwork out and look the car over good. But super excited. Glad you guys liked the video of taking the old 39 Cadillac for a spin. But it was so cool. It was just chung, chung. I mean, just the 3 on the tree. I mean, it just fell. Every gear just clicked just like it should. But like I said, the car's got 36,000 miles on it, so it never really had a too hard of a life. It spent, the car is 84 years old essentially, and we know it's been sitting in storage for 43 of those. So, and obviously someone had already saved it in the 70s and preserved it as a collector car by then, so it's had a pretty easy life. So Alex on with us on Facebook. Jason thinks he's got one of those Cadillac hood ornaments. That's cool. I don't know what Dad put in it for gas, Tweedly D. I wasn't there when he went and got gas for it, so That's right. That's right, John. Sometimes you got to bust knuckles to cruise in the classics. Martin Design wants to go for and that's right, David W. It was so quiet. I mean, that thing does sound, it ticks like a sewing machine. Just smooth, quiet. It's pretty amazing. Joe's Classics made it tonight. Rusty James is here. So that was a lot of fun, and it felt good to get to drive it a little bit. Nope, there were no bodies in the trunk, just more parts and some accessories. So we'll be bringing you that stuff as well. So once we'll be bringing you some more on that once Dad gets finished buffing it out, waxing it, and really get a good look at that thing. Hudson badge. Something else that I have noticed, if you guys caught us, jumped on with us Friday night for a little bit when I was working on the 78 F250, as well as when I did Toy Tuesday, they have changed the live stuff on my phone. When I'm doing these, the lives like out in the shop on my phone, obviously here I'm in the office, I'm on the PC, so I'm on the computer, on webcams. But when I'm on my phone, they have changed the the process on getting a live. So there's some stuff that's different, and it has not gone extremely smooth. I've got to get that figured out. Toy Tuesday last Tuesday, it took 3 times to get it, and finally the third time it sailed right in. But the first 2 times I had to fight it. I had to fight it trying to get on Friday night. So please keep that in mind. If as I do these upcoming lives, and until I get that ironed out, or they get it ironed out, I don't know if it's me or them, that something's a little wonky there. So if Tuesday night it's 7:03 before I go on, please bear with me. Hang in there for a minute. I'm trying to get that thing to work. I just want to give everybody a heads up that the last couple times we've tried to do a live on the phone, it's been a little wonky. So Alec bought a 67 Mustang yesterday with an inline 6. I've got a laptop too, but when we're out in the shop doing them, we're out in the yard doing them, we're pretty much relying on that. So, but no, I've got 2 computers on my desk and a laptop, and some nights I've got the laptop set up too. There's sometimes I've actually got all 3 computers on my desk at the same time. So, but anyway, just want to give everybody a heads up on that. Maple Brothers auction was this weekend. We did not go. We went to Maple Brothers in Kansas City last fall. That's where we got the pea picker. Still love the pea picker. Still geeked about the pea picker. But we didn't go. I have not talked to Wix. I did text with him a little bit about how it went, because they had a pretty rough weekend in Kansas City. Things just weren't clicking the way they wanted them to. Wix did say things were a lot smoother and were working a lot better for them in Oklahoma City. So that's a good sign for Maple Brothers. Their results are up. Still seem like numbers are still hanging in there and we're fairly strong. But you can go to Maple Brothers and to their website and check out all the results from Maple Brothers Oklahoma City this weekend. So I don't know if they're doing another Kansas City sale or not. I have not seen, but if they do, we may try to catch that one. We didn't catch this one, but it was sounds like it went okay, or at least the system worked a lot better than what it did for them in Kansas City. Hudson badge. Chris, what kind of year convertible was that in the video of the 52 to 53 Chevys? It's a 65 Mercury. It's on the next video. We already shot it. But it is a 65 Mercury. What else is coming up? Wichita Swap Meet, March 10th or 11th or 11th or 12th, something like that. 10th and 11th, Friday and Saturday of March. Wichita Swap Meet. We do try to catch that. I've been going to that swap meet for 30 years, or actually longer. About 35 years, actually. Yep, we said Mercury, number 1. So I've literally been going to that swap meet so long, I don't hardly remember not going to that swap meet. So we will be going there. That's the only swap meet I set up at. I've got great spots. And it's really, I sell a little bit of stuff, but basically all I do is cover my expenses, or try to cover my expenses by the time you figure fuel, hotels, meals. But I get to see a lot of people. That's the only place I've ever seen them. There's a lot of people that I see at the Wichita Swap Meet that I've seen at the Wichita Swap Meet for 30 years, and that's the only time I ever see them. So, that's kind of cool too, to see people like that, and we all bond with old cars. So if you're anywhere near, you might mark that down. March of, what did I say, 10th and 11th, that Friday and Saturday. We will be at the Wichita Swap Meet. After I get back, after next weekend, I'm going to start getting some stuff toted up and get ready for that. So might be able to see some of you guys down there. If there's something you need me to bring, that's a possibility. If you're going to go and you want T-shirts or something, I can always bring some of those with me as well. So, but just something to keep in mind if you want to catch the Wichita Swap Meet here coming up here, and sooner rather than later. Sherman, Texas has an auction coming up end of March. Have not seen that one. Guy with the Car Guy made it. Zach's on with us. Whiskey Business made it. So keep that in mind. We may see some of you at the Wichita Swap Meet this year. There's some of it I always do there. Tim, Mr. Good Pliers is always there. So a lot of, and some of you guys have started trying to make the trek as well to stop by and say hi. So it's always fun. Swap meets are always good. So Eloy will be down that way for a swap meet, looking for a few exterior sun visors for Chivys. Weston's here with us. We'll give you one of those too. So anyway, that's what I've got going. What else did you? Let me check comments, make sure we're all caught up here. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. Ready to move on to the promo, the badges, the auctions, the magazine. We got a full episode planned tonight, so trying to keep up with your guys' comments as we work through here. Man, there's a lot of cool stuff over here. There's some super early plates. Plus, there's that box of stuff for the raffle. I got a bunch of cool stuff to show you guys here after a while. Mike from Texas is here. How do you find swap meets? This one, I've been going to it for so long, I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't go to it. So, Sherman, Texas auction is Duncan's auction. So, if you want to look that one up. But moving forward to the promo model. Tonight's promo model. We're going to jump back to the early 60s. I've always liked these cars. Actually, it's one of the first cars I ever bought, one that Dad had, and I bought it from him and always thought I would do something with it and never did. I actually found the car in a scrapyard 20 years ago and I bought it back. The car was actually at the bottom of the stack, and I had him dig it out, and I bought it because it was the first car I had ever bought from Dad, but just like I said, never did anything with it. And it was a little Pontiac Tempest, a little 1961 Pontiac Tempest. It's actually still sitting out at the yard. It's pretty rough after I found it at the bottom of a stack, but I've still got it. But this little Pontiac Tempest, the 1962 variant, in red on red. Tony's here with us. These little Tempests were a very interesting car. Half a 389 essentially, or a four-cylinder that was literally half of a 389 in 61 and 62. By 63, you get a 326 in them. But this car here is really in pretty decent shape. Shopcat's a fan. The sun visors are typically on a convertible. The sun visors get knocked off. These are still here. It's got a little bit of dust. That's one thing about a convertible. You get a lot of dust down in them, and it's tough to get into the corners to clean it out. The nose is all intact. Corners, the bumpers aren't busted off. Even both front fender ornaments are still on this one. Kind of odd. Pete's in love with it. Original hubcaps, original white wall tires. Around the back, the rear bumper also, intact. Guards are intact. Corners not broke off. Taillight's still there. Really in pretty decent shape. That was a 63 Tempest is what they were talking about, my cousin Vinny. Mike's digging it. Is this an AMT? Does not say on this one. Bill can answer it for us, I'm sure. But it does not say. Alec likes it as well. Yeah, this was a dealership promo, is what this one was, car guy. So, did you ever hear of Nance Speed Equipment in Wichita? Yep, I've heard of them. I have heard of them. Zach likes this one. But obviously in good shape, red on red, and still intact. I did kind of clean it up and buff it, polished it a little bit last night. Got to put a little bit of a shine on it. Doesn't look as old as it is. Yeah. These had good body lines, the way these lines flowed, and had kind of the peak all the way back to here. Had fender vents in them up here in the front. They were a neat little car. They really were. And like we talked about, a 4-cylinder is, half a 389. And they actually, you could actually even get a 4-barrel on those. Very few of them were equipped, but they did have a 4-barrel available for that 4-cylinder. Now, like most of these promos, the bottoms of them is just a molded piece. There's not a lot of detail to it. However, this one, they actually did do it correctly. I was, wondering when I got this out, because I never actually looked, did they just slap a chassis under this, or did they make an actual Tempest chassis for it? They did make an actual Tempest chassis for it. Now, and a lot of you guys may not realize it, but these were a half a 4-cylinder up here with a transaxle back here. So, and it actually is set up that way. There's your engine. Here's your transaxle. Had a drive shaft from the engine to the transaxle. Independent rear suspension. Yep, that's right. Rope drive shaft, Shopcat. That's exactly essentially what it was. So they were, that's right, number one. They were pretty wildly engineers. Ozark Fox's parents had a 63 Tempest convertible, so before him. So these were really unique, but it's so cool that this promo, they actually did it correctly and actually have the transaxle in here. The torque converter stuck out here on the back. They were a really weird deal. Basically, if it's a promo, it is essentially a dealer piece. If it's not a dealer piece, then it's a kit. Essentially, I think that's kind of how it was. So, but promos are dealer pieces. Was there a benefit to that axle? I don't think there really. I don't think there was, because they didn't use it very long. They used it for a few years, so obviously it didn't stick around. Obviously, it wasn't worth what it cost to do it. I'm guessing if they were figuring, I guess what they were thinking of was better weight balance, 50-50 balance, more weight back here for traction, things like that, independent suspension, that type of stuff. But obviously it didn't stick around for only a few years. So that's right. And that's kind of, Bill agrees with me. There's no difference. If a promo is a promo or it's a kit. That's kind of what they are. So that's a great way to put it, Bill. And that's right. Number one, not only the weight distribution, but also the European styling and feel. That's another good way to put it. So PFF Flyer, can't believe I worked on the transaxle back in the day. Benefits for the repair shop. Yep. That's another thing, Alex. Yep. X-Ray agrees with weight balancing. Yep. It is a pretty clean promo. It is a decent piece, Bill, obviously. Yep. Yeah. You can actually see the torque converter back here. They've actually got it in there. John would like to find a hardtop. They were pretty neat little cars. They really were. Ken's here from the frozen state of Michigan. And that's okay. And that's what I thought. Bill did clarify that this would be an AMT. So Bill Wagaman, our resident promo and toy expert, always can chime in and catch those detailed questions for us. So there she is, the red on red 1962 Pontiac Tempest convertible, complete with the 4-cylinder and transaxle layout, just as it should be underneath the car. So Alex, it almost looks like a T-Bird. It's a lot smaller than a T-Bird, though. So glad you guys like that one tonight. Lots of good comments about the little Tempest tonight. What were they competing against? I mean, it was a small car. So, I mean, it would have been, Falcons, Fairlanes, Valiants, all that type of stuff is what it was. It was definitely the smaller car platform. Do all promos write specs on the bottom? No, most of them do not. See, this one does not have specs on it. Ford was primarily known for putting the detailed information on the bottom of them, just like the Ford wagon we looked at. That's right, Colorado Memorial. A Corvair is another one. Comet Caliente and Falcon, those are more cars that these were in direct competition with. But some Ramblers, yep, that's true. Chevy 2s, yep, all those small cars of the early 60s is exactly what this car was competing against. Big job made it. All right, time for some badges. I've never heard it called twin drive. Wes has got a 64 Galaxy with specs on the bottom. Yeah, if you were with us last week, we did a 61 Ford station wagon. It had information on the bottom of it. No, Alec, these were not directionals. These were strictly ornamental. Alec on Facebook asked if these were directional signals. They were not. Just strictly a chrome ornament on each front fender is all they were. Time for some badges. As always, we'll start off with a pre-war badge and then work our way to a post-war badge. Olds F85, Buick Specials, yep. All the same platforms. But our pre-war badge, going back 90 plus years. This is a cool piece. It's got a little bit of chipping in it, but this is a pretty rare badge. This is one that wasn't extremely common. You didn't see a lot of these, and it's kind of crazy to think about this company because they were a little bit late to the game, you want to say. They were introduced as a sister car, not as a primary car, but they were introduced as a sister car in the late 20s. 1928, actually. This was when they first started getting a really good-looking badge, I think. But in the 20s, GM was worried about introducing sister cars to a lot of their primary car lines. Buick got Marquette, Cadillac got LaSalle, and Oakland got a little company called Pontiac. Yep. Pontiac actually didn't come out until the late 20s, introduced as a sister car to Oakland. Most of the sister cars GM came out with did not last extremely long. Just like, LaSalle lasted about 10 years and they phased it out. This badge here was for the 1931 Pontiac. Now, the first Pontiac badges looked like two coins sitting beside each other. I believe we've looked at some of those in the past. This one was for the 1931 era Pontiac. Shopcat F85 special, cool specials based on the Corvair platform but front engined. You see the weird aspects in the trunk area. Lots of comments coming up, just trying to catch up. Oldsmobile got Viking, yep. Pete's never seen it. Yeah, a lot of you guys are digging this badge. It is a cool badge for sure. There's no doubt about that. They had a couple of different variations of them for 31, but this one was the bigger one. Sam's on with us on Facebook. But this badge here, it is an enamel badge. That's right, Bill Wett. Mickey Thompson did have a Tempest as a race car, 421 car. They ripped the transaxle out and put a regular rear into the car. Yeah, I do remember that because that was a 421 car. So has some chipping up here. This red enameling still looks really good down around here. White with the Chief Pontiac and white in the Pontiac letters. Shape is similar to the Hudson badge. No, not really. The Hudson badge is basically a triangle on this one. Maybe some other Hudson badge. What's the value of the Tempest promo, says Car Guy? I don't know. Any decent promo is usually $50 or $75, sometimes $100. But I mean, I would imagine that's probably a $50 or $75 promo. That's the nice thing about promos. They're super great pieces, and you don't always have to break the bank to get them. So, but this little Pontiac badge, it is fairly small. 1 3/4 by 1.5 inches, basically. 1 3/4, almost 1.5 inches. That's right, not necessarily politically correct, but very cool. And it is a cool badge. I definitely dig it. Michael's digging it on Facebook. And there's so much debate about whether it's politically correct or not. But, to me, I look at Indians as strong and proud, and that's why they use their symbolism a lot, because of strength and pride. And that's kind of how I see it. So, like I said, that's up for debate. You can debate that all you want, but That's kind of how I see it. But I thought this was a great piece. I really like the badge. Bill says he'd put 150 on the Tempest retail. So, okay, I was a little bit low on that. Ozark does like some of the Canadian nameplates as well. Yeah. This was a 31 Pontiac. This was a stud mount on the back, basically flat. It had a screw-on stud made onto it with a nut to screw it to the grill shell. Guide pin on the bottom. You can actually see how the metal part of it was embossed prior to putting the enameling in here for the red and white for the Pontiac. So Tony just wants a 31 Pontiac. So kind of a neat piece. Very pretty, very decorative. I wish the red was up here, but hey, there again, this thing's 90 years old, over 90 years old. So I guess it still ain't looking too bad for being 90 years old. So let's move on to post-war. Shopcat Pontiac, more of a value brand in Canada than sporty. Well, here they were always sporty, or at least I thought they were sporty, but that's because I like Trans Ams. So. But our post-war badge actually comes off of a vehicle from a video this week. I'll try to start doing some more of that. Pontiac used Oakland V8s in 32, then straight 8 and 33. Yeah, there was a couple of those weird V8s in the new yard when I bought it. Some guy came through from California and bought them because he had one he wanted to get running. But those were a super weird V8. Super weird V8. You want to see a weird V8, look up that 32 Pontiac Oakland V8. They were weird. Shopcat's a Pontiac fan. Almost got an arrowhead tattoo. That would be a pretty hardcore Pontiac fan. One thing I want to try to start doing for some of the badges and emblems and even maybe some of the auction pieces is try to get something off some of the cars we're doing videos on that week. So I'll try to kind of keep working that in, and that's what I did tonight. We did a video, I think it was Monday night, on the Chevy pickup and the Corvair. I don't know anything about Corvairs. That Corvair is literally the first Corvair I have ever hauled in. Now, there are several Corvairs in the new yard. There's 8 or 10 of them in the new yard, but they were there when I bought that place. So this was actually the first time I've ever picked up a Corvair. This badge is off of, I don't know what you want to call it. Is it the hood or the trunk lid? Or the bonnet, if you're British. But on the rear of the car that covers the engine, this is where I found this badge. I believe that Corvair was a 64. I don't know much about Corvairs, but I think from my limited research, I think that car was a 64. And this is a really good-looking badge. I really definitely like this piece. It's very ornamental and very pretty. Like I said, it came off of the hood and or trunk lid, whatever you want to call the piece that covers the engine in a Corvair. But here it is. It's a cool piece. Nice bright chrome on it. Has a plastic insert right here, which is faded. And it fell out when I took it off. I had to glue it back in. But it has a bright finish on top and around the edges, and then a flat finish right here on the face where the Corvair letters are cast into this piece. This is a pop metal piece. Ozark Fox's dad was a Corvair fan. It was stud mount. It's basically flat. It laid flat right there above the engine. Pete loves the bow tie and the plastic. Yep. But stud mount, I had to put the plastic piece back in. I just used some clear siliconed it back in. But it is a unique piece. Corvairs, they're starting to gain a little bit of popularity. Like I said, I don't know a lot about them. I bet they don't even repop this piece, Guile. I bet they don't even do those at all. It's a fairly decent sized piece. 9 7/8. Now, so almost 10 inches long. And 1.5 inches high at the peak on the little Corvair. So I'm going to try to start doing some of this. I hope you guys like the idea. Won't be able to do it every week, but I'll try to snag something off of something we do a video on and work it in to the badges or ornaments section if you guys are cool with that. So this is off a little Corvair from the video the other day. And really, like I said, you can kind of see as the light catches it, how this part where it's kind of a flat finish pops against the chrome finish with the Corvair letters all cast into this piece. Michael's got his shades on. That reflection keeps getting him. So there we have it for tonight. The 1931 Pontiac and the 1964 Corvair. We've also got an Auburn badge. So anyway, Alex is the only one who has driven a Corvair. I've never driven a Corvair, so maybe some of you other guys have. 30 to start the bidding. Alex, ready to go. So let's roll into the auctions. Chris's uncle's got a 64 convertible. I hope everybody saved up since we didn't do auctions last week. But, man, we got some cool stuff in here. Tony, I reversed a Corvair steering box for his Willie. That was interesting. Zach says he's pushed a few off the road. Oh, man. What do we got in here? Where do you guys want to start? Holy cow. We got a little bit of everything. We'll start off with something smaller and cheaper like we usually do. Now, as always, just so you know, I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few people on here that haven't been here before, so we'll get through some housekeeping on the auctions. I'll hold up a piece. We'll talk about it. I'll show it to you. We'll talk about condition. I'll give you some dimensions. We'll talk about where it came from. As we start talking about it, start showing it. If you're interested in it, you want to throw a bid up there, feel free to get us started so I know that we've got interest in whatever piece we're talking about. Big Job got his package. He's digging his tank. That tanker truck was pretty cool. You got a good deal on that tanker truck, Big Job, no doubt about it. So we'll look at it. We'll talk about it. You guys can start bidding on it. After we get done describing the piece, looking at the piece, answering any questions about the piece. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? She just took off like a rabbit. We will put it on a timer on my phone. I started on my cell phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute 30 seconds has passed. Now, about everybody has a delay. Sometimes it's 5 seconds. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. It depends on your particular situation. Are you on a phone, a PC, a tablet, a laptop, your internet service, wireless, fiber? All those things play into your delay. So I will tell you when 1 minute has passed, and I will tell you when 1 minute 30 has passed. So when you hear the 1 minute 30 has passed, we may be about done depending on your particular delay. So when I tell you 1 minute 30 has passed, be thinking about your maximum bid. If you're something you really want and you think it's worth $50, you need to throw the $50 out there because there's probably a lot of other people that are going to be in there in that throwing bids out there in the $40 range. So be thinking about your max bid when I tell you that, when I give you the minute 30 mark that we're coming down to the wire on it. So there we passed the 1 minute mark. I'll announce that, and then we will close it out at 2 minutes. Whatever the highest bid that I can see on whatever format I am looking at that point will be the winner. A lot of times, as soon as we call it, there's usually bids hanging up in there, people that were trying to snipe it at the last second. It's whatever I can see at that point. That's the only fair way I know to do it. So be sure to get those bids in there when I tell you that we're at the minute and a half mark. Do you have any 70 to 74 Roadrunners, William? Do not have anything there at all right now. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family only. Any of those work. Sam's on with us. If you have any questions about something you like and you want to bid on, you're not sure about payment or how to handle it, and you want to go ahead and throw a bid out there, that's perfectly fine. Just give me a call tomorrow and we'll figure it out. My number is in the description part of the video, so you can go back, click on it after the fact, get my phone number, call me tomorrow, we'll work it out. Not a big deal, not worried about it. if you're just not quite sure how it's going to work, but you want to bid on something. But like I said, a lot of you guys still send me a check in the mail. It's not a problem. Some of you guys use PayPal, friends and family. It's whatever works. Non-U.S. bidders, you're more than welcome to play. However, you will be responsible for non-U.S. shipping and as well as getting me paid, which is typically a money wire, which is $30 or $40 to get the wire. And most of the small stuff, if it's in the 48 states, shipping is included. If we do have something that we have additional shipping on, I will announce that as we're describing the piece. So I think we've covered everything. If we're ready to go, if you guys are ready to go, we'll start off with a few small things and kind of work it. We got some great stuff. I got some epic plates too. So we'll kind of get ready to get started here. Start off with something small. And that's right. Another perfect Tweedledee. I forgot to mention that. Whole numbers only, please. I don't care if you want to just bump it $1, just make it a full dollar amount. Because when we're in the middle of the auctions and I'm watching both formats, YouTube here, Facebook here. So if you hear me announce a bid you don't see, then it's probably on the other format. The first few items, I will always announce all of the bids, even if it's not the high bidder, so you guys can figure out where your delay is at. After that, I may just announce the high bid after we're rolling a little bit. So, Marn, the shirts are 24, I think, for double and triple X, 22 for extra large on down. There again, that information is also in the description part of the video. After we get done, you can click on that. There again, or my phone number's in there. Give me a call if you want to get some ordered. I've got shirts in stock. I've got the stickers in stock. However, I am going to do a new shirt design. I do still have some of these left. I've got a few of these and a few gray ones left. I've got everything in black at this point. But the next batch of shirts will be different. So as we wind these down, I will have a new shirt come out. But right now, I've got everything in black and a few sizes left in gray. I did reorder a batch of black a few months ago, so I'm stocked back up on black, but that will be it on this style of shirt if you want to get one in, if you want to get one. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Hit the like button for your bid. Let's go ahead and get started off. We haven't done any matchbooks in a few weeks, and these matchbooks are always cool because of the artwork on them and everything. And these are taxi cabs. We've done a few of these in the past. These are really cool. There will be 3 matchbooks in this batch. This first one, Warwick Cab Company. Definitely late 30s era on this one. This is a very narrow matchbook. So we have the Warwick Cab Company. We have the Victory Cab Company. I want to cover up the car. The car is cool. And we have, I believe this is 40s from the Red Cab Company. All 3 of these, one bid. Like I said, we're starting off with some smaller pieces to kind of get things rolling on tonight's auction. Everybody, we need to figure out where your delays are at, see how the system's working, things like that. So all 3 of the cab matchbooks, 2 of them with cars, one-sided for framing. The narrow one has something on the back, but the other ones are just the front. So yeah, you can put them in a little frame. They'd be super cool. Mark starting us off at 10. You need that style with Gray Kitty driving. Yeah. Alec at 5, Mark at 10 over here. Let's get this thing on the timer and let me get my notes made. I do log all this, so I'll keep track of all this. So if you buy something, you've got a question, you can always get a hold of me. Also, Rico and Jess are back. We've got Mark at 10. We are live on the timer. All right, Alec at 12. I've got Alec at 12 on Facebook. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. And there we go. We've hit 1 minute. We're halfway through these. What do we want to do next? Maybe we'll do a can or something. Here's kind of a cool can that be a little bit cheaper piece, kind of get used to things. Got Alec at 12 as we come up on the minute 20 mark. Minute 20 has now passed. Alex at 15. Minute 30 has passed. Mark at 17. Just about ready to wrap this one up. We're coming out of the wire. I've got Mark at 17 with just a few seconds left. And that does it. Mark at 17. Those are cool. These little matchbooks, the artwork on them is just so amazing. Hudson. All right, we'll do a couple more things here that some stuff that's a little bit cheaper to kind of get things rolling. So let's do a quart can. This is a metal can. It's a little bit rough, but it's got such a great look to it. A little bit of patina. Eric's here with us on this Skelly Fortified Tagoline Heavy Duty. This definitely shows its age. It's got a little bit of surface rust. Leo's here, but it's got all this great colors, the red and white, red and blue against the white background. Like some of these other Skelly cans we've seen, it's got all these little oil derricks down around the bottom of them. This is a regular quart. It was punched at the top when it was used at some point in time. Money back guarantee right there on the side of it. It is double-sided, Skelly Tagoline on both sides. It is a ribbed can, kind of similar to what you would see on like a coffee can. Bottom, is still intact. And there's the seam on this side, so it is a metal can. Eric at 15. Yeah, back when oil derricks were cool. Yeah, I hope you guys can see all the little production stuff down here. Eric at 15 on this one. Alec at 5 here, but I've already got Eric at 15. Skelly Oil Company, tons of cool graphics. Travis is here. So let's get this thing on the timer. Eric at 15, the money back guarantee. Fortified Tagoline, right there. Your money back guarantee on the side of it. Alec at 20. As we tick along here, a lot of you guys like the oil derricks down here, and I do too. I think that it's great the way Skelly did the artwork on these cans. They did it all in the quarts all the way up to the 5 gallons, had all this stuff on it. So I think they're really great. This can definitely shows its age, but it still has all the colors. That's what's awesome about it. Highlander made it tonight. And there's the 1 minute mark. I've got Alec at 20 at the 1 minute mark. Patriotic colors on a Skelly can. Yep, that's right. Minute 20 has passed. And a minute 30 has now passed. I've got Alec at 20. 10 seconds left. This can's probably early 60s, I'm guessing. Alec at 20. We're just about down to the wire on this one. 24 with Pete. And that does it. 24 with Pete. Boy, that was cutting her tight, Pete, but you got it in there at about 158. Eric came back at 25, but it was a little bit too late on that one. Dozen badge. Now, let's do a license plate. I got some epic plates. We're going to start off with kind of a little rougher one to kind of get working in here. I'm excited. I'm actually excited for some of the plates that I've got right now in these boxes because they're awesome. This one, it's been up a little bit. The colors are okay on it, but there again, it's 82 years old. So I guess it's got an excuse. But this 1941 Kansas plate was originally red with yellow numbers and letters. The yellow is definitely great. The red, we still see spots of the red. It's definitely one of those patina type pieces that still looks good for its age. We've definitely got enough color left of this thing to stand out and make it look cool. It is bent a little bit. I don't want you to think this thing is perfectly straight. Back has surface rust. I don't see any rust out, and the edges are intact. Chris is starting us off at 10 on this 41 Kansas plate. It is fairly close to a normal size plate. It is about 12 and a half. Highlander at 11 by 5 3/4. Marn at 13. So it actually, I guess it does have a little bit of rust. If you look right here, there's a couple little cracks in it right in here. Chris at 15. You can't, if you look real, if you get something there, you can kind of see it back there. So I don't want you to think it's perfect. Chris at 15. Let's get this thing on the timer. Highlander at 16. We are on the timer, so we are going. Highlander at 16 is my high bidder. Ozark Fox's grandfather owned a gas station. His can auctions would have him scratching his head. Yeah, it's crazy what some of those old cans bring. So I don't know where Norma's at tonight. Marn at 17. And there's that 1 minute mark. Marn at 17 as we hit the 1 minute mark. That's right, Leo. You might be able to put a little oil on it. Might help. It might bring some of those colors back, but definitely still presentable. Definitely still readable. And there's the 120 mark. There's a Hudson badge right there. And 1:30 has passed. Alec at 20 on Facebook. Tweedly D at 20, but I've got Alec first on Facebook at 20. 20 seconds left. Tweedly D at 22. 10. And that does it. Tweedly D at 22. Alec came back at 23, just a couple seconds too late. Auburn. Yeah, you were about 3 seconds too late on that one, Alec. I was watching. I thought you were coming back, so my eyeballs were bouncing, trying to keep up with you guys. But don't worry, because I've got some plates tonight. Oof. I've got some plates actually for the next couple weeks that I'm talking some like super. I got some crazy old stuff, and I got some stuff in the package. And we got some crazy plate stuff. So Leo says this gives us something to look forward to on Sunday. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I hope we're doing a good enough job here that you guys are having fun. That's the whole purpose of it. What else we got here? Let's do some looking here. What do we got? Where to go next? It's all cool. I just don't know where to start. Let's start right. Let's just go right here. Tweeted he's been waiting all day for the show. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I mean, I do try to do a decent job. I really do. And I appreciate the kind words that you guys do enjoy it. But remember we were talking about badges, and I said I'm going to try to I'm going to try to start working some stuff in from the videos. So, anybody interested in this? I think Alec was, because I think Alec wanted to try to start the bidding off already. What the heck? Let's sell it. Straight off the Corvair from the video the other night. Tweedledee at 20. I think Alec was trying to start us at 30 over here. We'll see if it was true. Pete at 25. I'll give you the dimensions on this thing one more real quick. 9 7/8, almost 10 inches. Eric at 26. Here's Johnny. Yep, Alec was 30. That's what I thought. Yeah, Alec, since he missed last week, he was ready to go. Mark at 30, but I've got Alec at 30 first over here. So almost 10 inches long. We've seen the chrome on it. We've seen the kind of the flat finish right here by the lettering. The plastic is cracked, and I did have to glue it back in with clear silicone. But there she is, straight off of the Corvair from Monday night's video. Mark at 35 on the little, I think, 64 Corvair trunk, hood, badge, whatever you want to call it. We're live on the timer. We're ticking along. Let's get this thing going. Let's send it down the road to somebody new for their collection. I've got Mark at 35. Alec at 40. And I need to be looking at what we want to do next. Just about to that 1 minute mark. Alec at 40. 1 minute has now passed. Everybody got all excited there for a little bit. Bill says it is 64. Good. That's what I thought. Of course, as soon as I posted the video, I had other people telling me I was wrong. So, but we all know how a lot of those people are. They want to post stuff even though because they think they know something. But yeah, there was a comment shortly after I posted it that it was a 61, I think. So, numero uno had apple pies in the oven. Well, where's our apple pie? Because now I'm hungry for apple pie. Minute 30 has passed. Mark at 42. $20 seconds left to go. Mark at 42 is my high bidder on the Corvair badge. $10 seconds left to go. Mark at 42 is my high bidder. Michael at 46. Pete at 49. And that does it. Pete at 49. Holy cow, it was 46, 45, and 49, all from like 155 to 2. It was like boom, boom, boom. It was crazy. But Pete at 49 was the high out of that batch. Holy cow. My brain kind of started getting goofy. Any old clocks and trim for the auction? Don't have any clocks tonight. Nope. Okay. We haven't done any caps yet tonight, have we? This cap's kind of unique. It's a little bit rough. It's got a little bit of surface rust. PFF Flyer didn't see that one coming yet. Chocolate chip cookie yesterday. Yeah, Shayla baked a bunch of cookies. I need to eat some of those cookies too. But it's got a good shine. It's got appears to have original paint in the letters and has a great look to it. Something for our Ford fans. This is like, I think, early 50s. You can see it's got some surface rust in some spots here. It's got some dings. It's got a pretty decent shine to it. Not a super, super bright shine, but it's got a pretty good shine to it. The paint, the red on the Ford does appear to be original. Tweedledee starting us off at 15. The back just looks like an old hubcap. It's kind of funny, though. You can see like the grease spots, like probably when they packed the wheel bearings and put the bearings and nuts in there. Now, these are mine. She'll get some more ready here in a few weeks. I think I got one more box of hers upstairs that I need to do, and then she'll be back in a few weeks. She's going to get some more ready. So on the little Ford cap, Tweedledee at 15. Let me give you the size on this thing, and then we'll get her on the timer. 10.5. 10.5 inches across on this Ford cap. Let's get rolling on the timer. I've got Tweedledee at 15. Highlander is not a cap fan. Mark at 17. No, I did pay more. I did pay more than that, more than what I got out of the badge for the car, Bill. But but being a Corvair, I didn't pay a ton of money for it because you don't sell a lot of parts off of them. The guy's like, you got to give me more than that for it. It's like, it's a Corvair, dude. I don't know if I'm going to sell anything off of it. So, Mark at 17. No Nash stuff tonight, Rico. I think it's a car. I think it was car. Is what this was originally, was a car cap. Mark at 17. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. 54 is about right. It says there's the 1 minute mark. Tweedledee at 20. And I think you're pretty close, Ozark. 54 is about what I'm guessing too. So Tweedledee at 20 on the Ford cap. Steve says 53, 54 passenger car. There we go. Alec at 22. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. I've got Alec at 22. $20 seconds left to go. Big Job, 25 with 10 seconds left. Big Job at 25. And that does it. Big Job at 25. Obviously right up his alley. No Tucker parts tonight, Leo. Actually, I'm not selling any of my Tucker stuff. I don't want to sell any of my Tucker stuff. I think it's too cool. So, Rico is supervising Jess. Jess is not allowed to bid tonight. So, I see Jess sneaking away to a different room with another device and bidding anyway if there's something she wants. But nope, that Pontiac badge is mine. I'm keeping that one. Tucker hoarder. I don't have much Tucker stuff, but the Tucker stuff that I do have, I am keeping. Yeah. How about another plate? I've got an envelope for this one, but it is not the one for it. So it will come with an envelope, but it is not the correct one for the plate. Nice condition, but it's been up a little bit. This is another more of a cheaper plate, an introductory type plate, but it is a low number. It is a 3-digit number, so that's cool. It is a 1973. It's a Packer plate. If you're a Packers fan, you got to have one of these. But 175, so it's a low number, 3-digit. This has the state of Kansas stamped in it, not cut out. You can see it's kind of bent a little bit, not terribly, but it does have some bends to it. But really in great condition. Paint is obviously outstanding on it. Not perfect, but very good. Highlander at 10, but cool 3-digit, low number plate in great condition. Tweedledee at 10 as well, considering that plate's 50 years old. Kind of crazy to think about. Mark at 22. Let's get this one on the timer. I'll get it written up. Tweedledee at 21. And we're ticking away. That's right. Leo likes plates too. These plates are awesome. Gary's digging it on Facebook. Jump in, Gary. It could be yours. And like I said, you want to stay tuned. These next, I've got some plates that are just awesome. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Let's see. What are we going to do next? We haven't done any emblems in a little bit. Let's do an emblem or something here. Mark at 23. Tweedledee at 24. As we hit that 1 minute mark, Tweedledee at 24. Like I said, the back of this thing just about as good as the front. Alec at 25. A minute 20 has passed. Alec at 25. Mark at 27. And there's the minute 30 mark. Michael at 28 over here on Facebook. Michael at 28. Tweedledee at 29. Mark at 30. 10 seconds left. Mark at 30. And that does it. Mark at 30. Michael's back in at 33, just about 2 seconds too late. Roger's here with us. How about a toy? I only got one toy tonight. Let's go ahead and get this toy knocked out. And it's cool. It's in great shape. I need to keep. I'm gonna show it to you here in a second, so I don't back out on it, because it is in nice shape, and it is cool, and I should keep it, even though it's not a real fancy one. All right, I got to show it to you. I'm trying to talk myself out of it, but I got to show it to you. It's a super cool little Tootsie dump truck. If I don't show it to you, I don't have to sell it. I don't have to sell it, right? Because it is in good shape. But I'm digging it. I'm going to sell it. I agreed. I told you I would. Check this little guy out. Bed tips. Original paint. All the tires and wheels, axles. It looks like it had an end gate on it, which is missing because there's little holes here for an end gate. So those are gone. Leo's digging it. Tootsie Toy USA is what it says. Yeah, it's a cool piece. Alex started us off at 20. Fits in the palm of your hand. It is 5 inches long. Just a hair over, actually. Yeah, Ozark Fox says I have to share. Weston had one, used it in his sandbox for years. Now it's on his shelf. Well, there it is. The X-Ray at 22. It's cool. Rico at 30. But it's a neat little truck. It really is. It's not busted up. You know, even you can see how the bumper sticks out here. It's not, you know, none of that's chipped off. Some chips and scratches in the paint, but shoot, it's, I don't know how old it is. It's got to be 50, 60 years old. And it's cool. Like I said, now you can see why I was trying to talk myself out of selling it, but I need to. I told you I would. There it is. Rico at 30. Let's get it on the timer. On the dump truck. Let's go. We're live. Ticking away. No backing out now. Alec at 33. Mark's got to control himself. He's trying to control himself. Fill it with kitty litter. Yep. Yeah, it's a neat little truck. It really is. See how kind of it's angled where the cab and the bed meet. Steve's saying mid-50s. Okay, I could go with that. I bet that's right. Alec at 33. Yep, they don't make them like that anymore. That's for sure. The wheel tires are plastic, but beyond that, this thing is all metal. The tires, even, I don't know if you can see it. 1 minute has passed. 1 minute has now passed. The tires actually say Tootsie on them. Rico's at 33, but I've already got Alec at 33 on Facebook. And there's the minute 20 mark. Rico at 35. And there's the minute 30. We are at 1 minute, 30 seconds. We're coming down to the wire on this. Rico at 35. $20 seconds left. $10. Alec at 40. We've got Alec at 40. And Kenny at 44 at the last second. Holy cow, that was boom, 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 right there. Just as it hit 2 minutes. Wow, that was, because Mark was 37. Alec was 40. Mark was 37. It was like 158, about ready to time out. And Kenny's 44 hit, and boom, it was all done. All within like a second and a half. So Kenny at 44. That one was tight, Alec. You had that by that much. You missed it. I was like, holy cow. You're having a rough night tonight, Alec. Boy. Don't worry. We got some cool stuff coming, though. Don't worry. We got some really cool stuff coming. Did anybody catch the video, the last video like a week and a half ago from my buddy's yard that I do some videos at from time to time? Anybody see that one? I don't know if you guys remember that video. It's been about a week and a half ago. Pete remembers it. Big Job saw it. Okay. I've got a piece I kind of been saving until I put that video up. It's kind of big, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to ship. But it's a little bit rough, but it is pretty cool. Anybody remember? Michael remembers. A lot of you guys remembered it. Perfect. Anybody remember the 1954 Buick that was in that video? I'm sure everybody remembers the dark station wagon that I misidentified. I'm sure everybody remembers when I screwed up. But does anybody remember the 54 Buick? No, this video was in my buddy's yard. One that I go to a couple times a year to get parts. Like I said, this is a little rough, but it was too cool to leave there and let it keep deteriorating. Yep, I grabbed the trunk ornament off of it. The 1954 Buick Special. Now, this thing is heavily pitted. It is flat, essentially, so you could, it's got maybe a slight curve to it, but I mean, you could mount this thing on a wall, on a bar, on a toolbox, something like that. This says Buick Special. These 3 blocks, there's one here, one here, one here. One of those was red, white, and blue. Would have been background painted. Steve's digging it. The pot metal's not broken. It's just pitted all the way across. This actually was the trunk handle. You can see it's notched here at the bottom. So you turned your key and unlocked it, and you could put your fingers there and grab that to open the trunk. This thing is... That's right, Zach. This is a weapon. It could be used as a weapon. 23 inches long, so it's got a little size to it. Big Jump says backlight it. Tweely D started at 15. Yep, I did it. And actually, that's why I did it, because I was planning on taking it off and selling it to one of you guys. That's why I mentioned it. I was thinking ahead. The old noggin was thinking. Yeah. Except I didn't realize it was 2 feet long. It's probably going to cost a decent amount to ship it. Brian, dispatch at 30. It's about 4 inches. The circle is roughly 4 inches, maybe a little bit more with this piece here. So Brian, dispatch at 30. It's a different part of the country. It's 4 or 5 hours from me. It's just a different part of the world. It's in a low, and even the way it sits is kind of low. So when it does get moisture, it takes forever to dry out because the whole yard's in kind of a low spot. But yeah, there's a ton of moisture. Yeah, Tweety, we'll just throw shipping in on it, even though it's going to cost a little more than the Yippee. We'll call shipping included. I've got Michael at 36 over here, and we'll just count shipping into the total price. It was a standard transmission car, which is kind of odd for Buick, so I think I did mention that as well. So anyway, Lisa's here with us. It is a little tricky walking through there, that's for sure. Yeah, put a piece of wood behind so they don't break it off. Yeah, I'll probably have to put it in a heavy box, but let's get it on the timer. Michael at 36 right here. Alan's on with us. Yep, Lisa's in Australia, so yeah, that would be tough with the exchange rate and shipping and everything for sure. Plus, a lot of times on something like this, Steve, I'll try to make sure I got an inch and a half, 1 to 2 inches on each end of this thing. You know, which there again is going to make the box almost 30 inches long, but that's the only way you're going to get it there without them breaking it. So, Michael at 36. We're just about to the 1 minute mark on this very sharp, very pointy, super cool 54 special trunk handle ornament. And there's the 1 minute mark. We are on the back side of this deal. And there's the 120 mark. Michael at 36 as we're coming up on the minute 30. And there it is, the minute 30. 30 seconds left. Michael at 36. What's going to happen? That was my phone. I bumped another button. 20 seconds left. Michael at 36. Tweety at 37. 10 seconds. Michael at 44, and that does it. Snuck that one in at about 158. Michael at 44. Let's do another cap. And Michael's all got a big old happy face up there. Need some Auburn badge, though. I know that. I'm not sure what year this cap is, but it is a little earlier. It's kind of banged up a little bit, but shoot, it's for the age on these things. That's to be expected. This is one for our Chevy fans. Ryan and Amy got a crash. Glad you were here tonight for a while. Glad you got to hang out. This cap has some age to it, dings, dents, scuff, scratches, but that's part of what gives some of these things character, and that's why I grabbed this one. Check this one out. I think it's 40s era. Has the bow tie in it. Originally, looks like it was originally blue. Somebody painted it red. You see the dings, the dents, the scuffs, the scratches. It's got the ribs around the edges of it. It was a metal cap with a chrome cap on it. Yeah, Leo says you can't just go out and pick up old stuff anymore. This way you can get some. Yep. And that's what's great about it. It's extra stuff that I've had. It supports the time and effort I put into this financially, and it adds cool stuff to your collection. So let's give you some dimensions on this. Outcast is here. Got a 78 Chevy pickup at the Garden City auction. Sounds promising. This cap is about 9 inches. Right here, about 9 inches across. So he needs to put his stuff up. Yeah. Number one. That's he goes by number one. That's who he is. So, but like I said, I'm not sure on the year, but I think this is like 40s era. So anyway, on the Chevrolet cap, ready to roll on this one. A man at a salvage yard as a kid. It looked like a golf course covering cars because it didn't like snakes. Alex is starting us at 20 on the Chevy cap. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer and get rolling. I've got Alex at 20 on the Chevy cap. Steve at 20 over here, but I already had Alex at 20 over here. That's right, number one, welcoming our new friends from Australia. Nobody's worried, everybody's a somebody. That's right, that's kind of what we go by on here, so. And there's the 1 minute mark. Alex at 20. And a minute 20 has passed. Minute 30. 30 seconds left. 20 seconds left. Michael at 24. 10. Big Job at 25. And that does it. Big Job at 25. Michael's right back at 28, just a little bit too late. Something we haven't done in a little while is anything for our Mopar fans. We haven't done anything for our Mopar fans lately, so we need to do a Mopar badge bundle. Badge bundle. How about a Hudson badge? Oh, Steve came back at 26. That one was really hung up in there late. So, may have a little bit longer delay over there on Facebook than what we're experiencing with YouTube. But some stuff for our Mopar fans. Yep, that's Steve said Facebook be lagging, so. Starting off with just a basic Dodge badge. This is a plastic one from probably the 80s, but it has nice shiny chrome. It is a double-sided tape stick on one, so you can put it about anywhere, and it is bright. And it is 7.5 inches long on the Dodge badge. Michael says he's got a 22-second delay on Facebook, so. Basic Dodge. The next badge we're going to have is a 100 off of a mid-60s era Dodge pickup. The background of this, I believe, would have been painted red. The 100 was chrome. The border was chrome. This one is 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. Mid-60s era half-ton Dodge. It is a flat badge. It was stud mount. Nice, bright, shiny chrome on the 100. Now, this last badge is actually broke. It was one piece. It's in 2 pieces now, but there again, you can mount it however you wanted. We're going to back up to the mid-50s on this one for the job rated badge. Now, this was supposed to be one piece. It's broke right there, so you'd have to, mount it or put it together or however you wanted to do it. It does have nice, bright chrome. It's not pitted up. It is flat, so you can kind of you could pretty much put it wherever you want. Stud mount, even has a couple of the original nuts on it still. On the job rated from the mid-50s. It happens to be broke, but the pieces are there. So, anyway. Anyway, there we go on the Dodge badge bundle. We haven't done anything for our Mopar fans in a little bit, so there we go. All of the Dodge badges, one bid. Can't hold on to these stinking things. And what do we think? Tweedledee at 5. Tweedledee's going to kick us off at 5 on the Dodge badges. X-Ray at 9. Mark at 13. Outcast at 15. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Steve at 15 over here. I already had Outcast at 15 first. That delay is killing you over there. The guys on Facebook may have to throw it up there a few seconds earlier. We got Outcast at 15. I had him first. And there's the 1 minute mark. So you still got time, Steve. You may just have to throw a few extra bucks on there so you don't get sniped at the end. As we're coming up on the minute 20 mark. The minute 20 has passed. A minute 30 has passed. $20 seconds left to go. 10. 18 with Steve. He got that one in there right at the end. Steve hit that one right at 18. You probably put that in at the minute 30, but it barely snuck in there at about 158. So I think that might be your first win, if I remember correctly, Steve. Not sure, but I don't remember shipping to you before, but I could be wrong too. I ship so much stuff, but. Yep, it worked, Steve, by about a second and a half or 2 seconds, but it worked just barely. Who wants to do some more stuff from last week's videos? Hudson. Last week we did a video from the new yard. I hadn't posted anything from the new yard in a long time. And I'm down to about 5 more videos in the new yard before I have all that new inventory shown to you, which has taken a few years. But we did a video from the new yard with a 50, a 51, and a 53 Chevy in it. If you guys remember that. And inside one of those Chevys, I think it was the 50, I found this. This was laying inside the car. We didn't really focus on it, but you may have seen it. And we also got an emblem off that car. So the emblem, so many good videos, so many cool options. Yeah, if you guys are having fun with that, I'll try to start working it in. I thought it'd be a fun idea to show a video and then get an emblem off of some of those cars. Some of them don't have anything cool, but some of them do. Like this 50 Chevy had the deluxe emblem on the front fender. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yep, this is right off the front fender of that Chevy from the video the other day. This emblem is 6.5 inches long, 1.25 inches tall on the D. Eloy at 10, Tweedledee at 15, and we're not even done yet. This is a flat emblem. It is stud mount. It has one broken stud. It is pop metal. Eloy at 20. So there's the front fender emblem off of it. Mark at 28, Tweedledee at 22. If I can quit coughing. But wait, there's more. Because laying in the front seat of that 50 Chevrolet, I don't know if this was off the car or not, but it was laying in the front seat. You might have saw it in the video. Tweedledee at 29. Whoa! It flipped over on me. It was kind of like an illusion. But there it is. This was laying in the front seat. Look, I can see me right there on the reflection. Yeah, I might need some of those 8-year-old lemon drops. Tweedledee at 35. Mark at 35. So this was laying in the front seat of that Chevrolet. It is scraped up here. A few dings and dents. Obviously bright chrome. Chevrolet stamped in it. This is a metal cap with a steel cap with a chrome plate capped over the top of it. I'm going to give you a size on this thing. Right at 10 inches on this one. So you're getting two pieces, one off of, one out of that 50 Chevy from the other night's video. I've got Tweedledee at 35. Let's get this thing on the timer. It might be a truck cap. Yeah, it was just laying inside that car. I thought it looked cool, so I grabbed it. Yep, there is a 59 Ranchero over on that side as well. Mark at 40. Both pieces, one deal, straight out of the video. Adam at 40 over here as well, but I already had Mark at 40 on YouTube. But we've still got time, Adam, because we have just hit the 1 minute mark. We've still got a minute to go on this one. Yeah, I thought it was earlier than that, for sure. A minute 20 has passed. And there's our minute 30 mark. Michael at 44 over here. Michael at 44 on Facebook. 20 seconds left. Mark at 45. 10. Tweedledee at 46. Zach at 48. Kenny at 60, and that does it. Kenny at 60. There's so much stuff coming in right there at the end, but it was Kenny at 60 when we hit that 2 minute mark. Whew. It's getting a little crazy there on some of these. Adam came back at 45. I don't know how long that thing was hung up in there, but it just popped up. So that must have been hung up for a really long time. So you guys on Facebook must have a heck of a delay. So you guys on Facebook probably better go with your max bid at that minute 20, minute 30 mark, based on the way I'm seeing these late comments pop up on Facebook. All right, we need to get some more plates worked in here because I got some awesome plates tonight. This plate, I like this plate because this is actually a cutout on the state. It's a 1955, which is kind of crazy to think that this thing is almost 70 years old, especially when you look at the condition of this thing. It's a low number truck plate, which is cool. Adam says, yeah. I mean, literally, I read your comment as soon that 45, Adam, as soon as it popped up. I seen it hit, so it wasn't even like a second delay on my side. I saw it hit, and that's when I announced it. So yeah, Facebook must be really, really slow. So you guys on Facebook, that minute 20, minute 30 when I announced that, you better just go in deep if you need to. But this plate here, considering it's 68 years old, 3-digit truck plate, and really in amazing condition. Check this thing out. This is original. All I did is wash it with soap and water. I didn't polish it. I didn't wax it. I washed it with soap and water, and here it is. Look at that. The black is almost like the chrome we just looked at. Tweedledee started us off at 30. Tweedledee is not messing around. This actually has the state of Kansas cut out on this corner. Black, white lettering, 764, so it's a fairly low number truck tag. The back obviously looks just about as good. Steve at 50 over here. Alex at 40. I've already got Steve at 50. So let's get this thing on the timer and get moving. But it's cool. This is not stamped. It's physically cut out of the corner of the tag. Mark at 55. All right, Mark at 55. Steve at 58. It has been used. You can see where it was on something. But being a truck plate, it may have been like on a farm truck that never sat outside. You know, got it out during harvest and sat in the machine shed the rest of the winter. Steve at 58. And there's our 1 minute point. Kansas used the wheat state for several years where they actually stamped the wheat state right on them. And there's the minute 20 mark. Minute 30. Steve at 58. $20 seconds left. $10 to go. Steve at 58. Michael at 60. Tweedledee at 59. Michael at 60 over here. And that does it. Michael at 60. Mark was 60 over here right after Michael's, and we ran out of time. Michael Glagola at 60. All right. Who wants to back it up a ways? Let's go back and check out some really cool stuff. We haven't done any early badges in a while. So I thought we ought to do that. Trying to double check something here real quick. Bear with me for just a second. All right. Alex is ready. Yeah, Mark, that was a beautiful plate. I've got some awesome plates. I've been sorting through some stuff. We've been going through Dad's stuff, so we're getting his stuff put together. And so I've got a couple coming up. We won't do them all tonight, but I've got some awesome plates coming up. We're gonna do one really cool plate yet. But I want to get this badge here. We haven't done an early one in a while. No, I'm doing good. I'm killing Jason. This is a small one. It's only 1.5 inches round. Does show a little bit of age to it. But it's from the Willys Overland Company from Toledo, Ohio, for the Overland Whippet. Now, this one obviously has some damage. We see some chipping in the white. We see some chipping in the red. The blue looks pretty good on the Overland. This says Willys Overland Company across the top, Toledo, Ohio across the bottom. Also got a little bit of chipping out of the red right there. It's basically a flat one that went on the grill shell. It was a stud mount. Has just a stud with a nut on it right here on the back. Tweedledee D at 20, Alex at 50, Steve at 20. Alex at 50 is my high bidder on the little Overland Whippet. So that's right. Whip it good, Brian. Almost inch and 5/8. Had kind of a banner layout across through here like that. Kind of a neat piece. 1926 to 1928. So almost, it's a 95-year-old piece. So I guess it deserves to have a few whammos in it. Let's get this thing on the timer. Alex at 50 on the Overland Whippet. Yeah, it's a neat piece. I love these things, obviously. I'm addicted to them. That's why I have boxes of them. That's why some of my duplicates I'll sell, but not very many. That's right. Alex isn't monkeying around. He may have already sealed this one up. I don't know. But this is a pretty cool one. Dino's here with us. So I don't know. I don't know if Alex is going to blow everybody out with that 50 or if somebody's going to sneak in with a 51 here at the end. Yep, Whippet was a classic. But I can tell you one thing. We're going to know here in just about a minute because we are coming up on that 1 minute mark. And there she is. 1 minute has now passed. Alex at 50. But sometimes that happens. Sometimes you throw your number out there and all the guys that are in that $20, $30, $40 range, you blow them out of the water right out of the gate. And then there's no question about it. But we'll see. Dino tries things out. Just got a 57 Napco. Nice. Napcos are cool. Minute 30 has passed. 1 minute, 30 seconds is gone. Alex at 50. $20 seconds. Jason says it ain't over. We'll know in about 10 seconds, Withrow. And that did it. That did it. Boy, it barely did it because Mark was that 51. It just came in 3 seconds too late. Woo! Big Job said Alex better start praying. And he must have been praying because Mark's bid didn't come in until 3 seconds too late or he would have got beat. So it did it, just barely. It almost didn't do it, but it did. Mr. Krakawian is here. So that one almost got real interesting. Okay. How about I got one more auction to do off of last week's videos. I like this idea. If they got cool emblems on them to sell them or license plates or something, I'm going to have to pay a little closer attention when I do videos on looking for cool stuff that we can sell on Sunday night after we post the video. How about the old Chevy pickup that was sitting right behind the Corvair? Anybody remember the old Chevy pickup? 50, 51 era. Kind of rough around the edges, but there again, it's still a pickup. There's still a lot. Yeah, Tweedledee says he's going to have to watch the videos. So off that old Chevrolet truck, we got a few pieces off of it, including the emblem off the side of the hood. A few pits, but not broken. Obviously bright, shiny chrome. Nine and an eighth by 1.5 inches. 9 1/8. It is flat, so you can kind of stick it anywhere. Stud mount. It is pop metal. Even still had the clip. I even managed to save the clips. So there's the piece off the side of the hood. And this is I can't remember. It was a 50, I think. I think that pickup was a 50. I also grabbed the piece off the front of the hood. Now this is kind of whammied. It was dented right here on the front. The bow tie would have been blue. The letters would have been red as well as these hash marks originally. All I did is clean it up a little bit with some steel wool. When it was dented, these mounting brackets are still here. It broke the other two mounting brackets off when that impact hit it. This is curved to meet the front curvature of the hood. But it obviously is definitely still bright. So two pieces off of the 1950 Chevrolet truck from the other night's video. This piece is a little bit bigger, so it's off the front of the hood. And this is just a little over 18 inches on this piece. Holy cow. I don't know what my problem is tonight. Tweedledee 35. That's right. The EPA involved. It's getting tough to get chrome done. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. Tweedledee at 35. Both pieces, one bid for our Chevy truck fans. Snipers are waiting. Yep. Tweedledee at 35. I might try some of them lemon drops again. I don't know what my deal is. I've been fine. I mean, something's kicking my butt here. 1 minute has now passed. Actually, it didn't really dent the hood. This took the brunt of the impact. One minute 20 has passed. Tweedledee at 35. What's going to happen here in 30 seconds? We're going to find out. Are there snipers waiting on these as well? $20 seconds left to go. $10. Michael at 38. Pete at 62. And that does it. There was a bunch of them in there. Pete at 62. Michael came back at 40, but Pete at 62 covered everybody because there were a bunch of other bids. But Pete at 62 covered it. All right, who's ready for something that's just crazy amazing? I'm going to give you both of these before we get into this. David W. says they're fighting a delay on YouTube as well tonight. So we've got a little bit of delay all the way around the way it sounds. I'm going to give you these again before we get into this. This is kind of crazy to think about. And it's definitely got some fading to it. But when you think of the age, I guess it deserves to have a little bit of fading. Plus, this particular year had paint issues anyway on Kansas license plates. When you tack the age onto it, I guess it's got an excuse. Because at over 100 years old, I guess you've got an excuse. I told you I had some cool plates because we're sorting through stuff and getting stuff into Dad's collection. Told you we got some cool plates. At 104 years old, we have this 1919 Kansas plate. Now, this is a little bit different size than what we're typically used to. Tweedledee start us at 50. It's almost 15 inches. By 5 7/8. If you have to read it upside down. Now, these 19s, they had kind of this bluish gray base with kind of a blue lettering on them. Finding any 1919 with good paint is almost impossible. It was just a poor year for paint. Alex at 55. So you don't hardly find any 19s with good paint. They just don't hardly exist. KAN in block letters. This is a 6-digit plate, but back then they didn't break them out by counties or anything. Allen at 60. Yeah, the color on the back isn't bad. That's kind of what it's supposed to be, kind of that bluish gray with, I believe, darker blue letters on the front. But it is literally 104 years old. I wrote on the back it's a 19 because this one didn't actually have the year stamped on it. Couple of extra holes here on the corners, and I think they kind of wallered these out a little as well. But I told you guys I got some cool plates coming. I think this stuff is cool. 104 years old, 1919, original, non-repainted, non-restored, exactly as it's been for a 104-year Kansas license plate. Yeah, the prison got a bad batch of paint. That may have been it. Allen at 60. Let's get this thing on the timer. Let's see what happens. It's neat. I'm going to make some notes. And we're live. Let's see what happens. Allen at 60. This type of stuff doesn't pop up every day. Like I said, we're just sorting through some stuff, and I've got a few early plates that we're going to sell now that we're sorting through stuff and getting Dad's lined out. Alex at 65. If Norm was here, it'd be a $100 plate. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. It may still be. I don't know. We'll see what you guys think. Tweedledee at 66. Just not something that you see very often. 104 years old. And it's going to be added to one of your guys' collections. Yeah, they thinned the paint out for prison tattoos. Never thought of it that way, X-Ray. 1 minute's passed. Let's see what's going to happen in 1 minute. Tweedledee at 66 is my high bidder. $104 years old, and it's going to be hanging on one of your walls here in a week or 10 days. Minute 20 has passed. There's our minute 30. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're coming down to the wire on this one. Tweedledee at 62. Some of the other ones in this window did not have a year on them. That's why I marked this one. 20 seconds left. 10. Mark at 68, and that does it. Mark snuck that one in right at the wire at 68. right, we got a couple caps we need to do yet tonight. We got a few more emblems we need to do yet tonight. But I don't know if we've done one of these caps in the past or not. This is a great cap. These are a great cap. Oh, and you guys might want to get your sunglasses out. This is one of them shiny ones. Actually, I can see myself right here. I look good in a hubcap too, I guess. Yep, I can see everything right behind me. But this is a late 40s era. And I'm sure our friend Marn's going to probably recognize this one because it's right in his window. Of the late 40s Pontiac cap. Whoa, shade your eyes. Now, this cap originally, this ribbed area in here would have had not a deep bright red, but kind of almost a thin red. So, kind of like a candy apple type thing. Obviously, we see Chief Pontiac very clearly depicted in there. Tweedledee Stardust at 25. Few dings and things. It's got a scratch that kind of goes around over here. But, man, you can definitely see the chrome on this thing is, whoa. See my messy desk right here. This is a steel cap with a chrome cap on it. Allen at 30. Let me give you the dimensions on this thing. Just over 10. 10 and an eighth, 10 and a quarter, all the way out to the outside edge. Does have a ridge on the edge as well. And the back, like I said, just plain steel, but nice and clean, not rusty or anything like that. Late 40s, 47, 48 era, I believe, on this super cool Pontiac cap. I've got Allen at 30. Let's get this thing on the timer, and let's boogie. Michael at 33 over here. Zach is blind. He can't see anything now. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, excuse me, Michael at 30, Michael at 33. There's the 1 minute mark. Tweedledee at 34. And 120 has now passed. And there's our minute 30 mark with Tweedledee at 34. Steve at 36. Ten seconds left. Steve at 36. Tweedledee at 37. And that does it. Tweedledee at 37. Snuck that in at about 158. All right. Yep, Steve missed his lag wrong. Yep, that's part of the trick. Let's do a couple of patina cans. We'll sell them as a pair because they're both a little bit rough, and I want to make it worth your while to get them. One more badge bundle, one more plate, one more cap, and we'll probably call it a night on this stuff. These cans, these are some cheaper cans. We'll kind of slow it back down a little bit. It's getting a little bit interesting on some of these. These are both metal cans. They both have patina, but they both still display well. First one, a Haviland Texaco. Still has the red star on it. We still see the blue wave on it, the bright blue letters. We still see this metal seam on it, punched at the top. Actually, I've got an IH badge. It's over in another box, a newer International. I say newer, probably 70s or 80s. We'll have to get that out next week, Brian. It's actually over on the other side of the office, so we'll try to get that IH badge worked in next week. So this Haviland can, and then to go with it, kind of a faded patina Champlin can. Has the old Champlin logo. Top's cut out of this one. Be great for pens, pencils, things like that. This side has better color, but more scratching. So this is also a metal can. We can see the seam over here. Nope, no coins. Don't have any coins. So like I said, these are some cheaper cans, starter cans, or like I said, throw your pens and pencils in them. On the pair, we're going to sell them both together so that, like I said, make it a little bit worth your while since these are cheaper cans and kind of starter level cans, but they're still cool. This definitely has some age to it. This is probably 60s. This is probably 40s or 50s. So anyway, on the patina cans, is anybody interested in these or coins, Mark? I did buy a bunch of coins at that last auction, a bunch of foreign coins, a bunch of weird stuff. In fact, I looked at them after I bought them, but I haven't looked at them since. So I need to, Steve says Champion probably 40s. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Bill Disc at 12. Yeah, that could be 40s. That's right, Steve. Bill Disc at 12 on the, these are the pair going together. Allen at 15. So if I need to dig those coins out, see what I'm going to do with them. Use the can for change. Yep, that's a good idea. You could use it for change. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. I lost you. You guys lost me there for a second. I was thinking about other stuff. If I hadn't bought all these coins a couple weeks ago, you wouldn't have thrown me off, but that threw me off. But that would work well for that as well. Allen at 15. Zach said those work great for his life savings. Do Pringles fit? I'm sure you put Pringles in them. Yeah, it'd be a cool way to eat your Pringles. Allen at 15 on the pair. You get both of them. One money shipped to you. Both metal cans. 1 minute has now passed. So, like I said, probably 40s, probably 60s. So they definitely got a little age to them. And 1:20 has passed. $1:30 has now passed. $20 seconds left to go. Allen at 15. Bill Disc at 16 with 10 seconds left. And that does it. Bill Disc at 16. Buyer's remorse for foreign coins kicked in briefly. I don't regret buying them. There's some cool stuff in there. I just haven't studied them yet and looked them up and seen kind of what I have because I really don't know. All right, one more badge bundle, one more plate, one more cap, and then into the magazine. Here's something for some more of our truck fans. And we got any GMC fans out there? Yeah, I knew you were kidding. So, no, I don't know what my problem is tonight. I don't know why I'm starting to dry up and cough. I mean, I drank water all day. I mean, I don't know what my deal is. But our GMC fans, late 40s, early 50s, we'll start off with a horn button. These are kind of cool. This is embossed. The GMC lettering is stamped in here. This is just as I took it off the truck. These would have been painted. The GMC letters, I believe, were red originally. Pretty much flat on the back. It has little tabs there that snapped it into the steering wheel. But that is, late 40s, early 50s era GMC. About 3 3/4 across dimension-wise. Yeah, late 48's about 53 use these. So, no, this isn't 104 years old. Just over 3 inches tall on the horn button. Now, to go with the horn button, same era of truck, side hood emblem in chrome. Some of these were painted. This one is chrome. Does have a little bit of pitting in it. No brakes or chips. Obviously bright chrome. Yeah, that'd make a good belt buckle, Bill. 9 1/4 by 1 3/4 inches. 9 1/4, 1 3/4 went on the side of the hood. Flat mount. These had a screw in them that screwed in from the back. Threaded holes in them. Steve at 30 on the pair, starting us off. Both pieces shipped to your door, late 40s, early 50s GMC. Steve at 30. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. And we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. Steve at 30. And there's our 1 minute mark. We're halfway through. You're getting both pieces. One money shipped to you. There's the back of the horn button, Kenny. Pete's reloading. Yep. Steve at 30. One minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're coming down to the wire. Steve's still sitting there at 30. 20 seconds left. Zach at 33. And that does it. Kenny at 33. Zach at 33. Steve, I feel like I'm in the crosshairs. It's exactly what happened. Zach at 33. Right there at about 158. Steve knew that one was coming, I think. Kevin Al's got to jump off. Glad you were here for a while, Kevin. 2 more pieces tonight before we get into the magazine. And I like doing these plates like this. These are so cool. Kansas Motor Vehicle Registration Plate. Says across the top of the envelope. And this is what I really get excited about when I find some of these. RP, letter R, 114. There she is. Still in the original envelope. I had a bunch of envelopes in that last batch of plates I had, but very few of them actually matched. I only had a couple of them that I actually found correct envelopes for. This one has it. Original envelope. Tweedledee at 45. This is a standard size plate, like the 12x6. Has a little bit of chipping down here by the screw holes. This is original paint. All it did is wash it with soap and water. You rub this out with a little bit of compound, this thing would really probably pop and shine. Kind of an orangish red with white lettering. Back obviously still looks great as well. 74, 48, 49-year-old plate. Still with its original and correct numbered envelope. Not something you see every day. Cool piece. Tweedledee starting us off at 45. Let's get this thing on the timer and let's get rolling. So here we go. One more piece after this and then on to the magazine. Going to do one of the little mini hot rod magazines out of the viewer box from a few weeks ago. Mark said he's happy he got that 19 plate, or he'd be all over this thing. Yes, Steve, Kansas is rear only on the plates. Do not have a front. Tweedledee at 45. We're going to give you an Auburn badge to think about it. Yeah, what a night for Norman to not be on. I've still got a few more cool plates, but like I said, we sold some awesome stuff tonight. Those early ones, there's only a few of. 1 minute has passed, and most of those early ones, I've got 1 or 2 of each year that are extras. I mean, they used it for that year, put it back in its envelope, put it in storage, and that's where it has been till we got it out. 1:20 has passed. Minute 30. 30 seconds left. $20 seconds left to go. 10. Tweedledee going to walk out of here this easy? That did it. Tweedledee's 45 did it. You guys had Tweedledee so nervous he was about ready to up his own bid. One more piece. Yeah, Steve, in Kansas, you can register these plates on your. You can use a data manufacturer plate on a collector vehicle on an antique in Kansas. So, yeah, you can actually do those. One more piece tonight. We're going to do another cap, and you might want to get some sunglasses out again. I got this one polished up nice, too. And something a little bit different. We'll mix it up a little bit. It is cool. It's got a great script on it, great font. Late 40s again. It's got some dents on the back, but obviously that's not going to affect to hang it up. It's got a lot of dings and things on the front, but the big dents are on the back. Another one of those standard, about 10-inch caps, like most of these are. Great wall hangers, and this one is absolutely no exception. For our Mopar fans on this awesome Chrysler. Super cool script, cursive font across here. You can see all the little dings and dents, but the chrome on this thing still shines like a diamond. We see that this is actually an outside trim ring that is stamped in here. Like I said, the back has a couple of big dents here on the edge where it would mount on a wheel, but hey, we're hanging on the wall, who cares? It is a steel back with a chromed cap front pressed on it. Alex is starting us off at 40 on the Chrysler cap. I believe the letters, it's actually, if you can look real close, I don't know if you can see it or not, make it out on your screen. It was actually even ribbed. I don't even hear that. It was ribbed inside the letters. The Chrysler script is stamped into the chrome cap on the front of it. So it is one piece all stamped together. On this, I guess a late 40s era Chrysler. Alex at 40. It was painted. It appears as though it was black in here where the ribs were. So I don't know if they just did it as a decoration. Who knows? But it's there. Let's get this thing rolling. Alex at 40. And then we're into one of the mini mags out of the viewer box from a few weeks back. X-Ray had a fun tonight. Like the cool stuff. Like I said, I didn't stop throwing stuff in the box. I mean, there's still some more badges, emblems, plates, still a few more things in here. We'll get restocked. Well, next week we'll see what I find on the road, but we'll have a restock for here in a couple weeks. As we're ticking along, we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. There it is. 1 minute left in tonight's auctions. Minute 20 has now passed. Yep, I'll be gone all weekend next week, Pete. Minute 30 has passed. We'll give you an Auburn badge if you need a drink, but I'm not selling one tonight. 20 seconds left to go. That's just so you can take a drink. I'll help you out with that. Alex at 40. 10 seconds. And that did it. Alex at 40. Okay, what an auction. That was a fun time tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We did have a good variety of stuff. Okay. How's Dad like his old Cadillac? He likes it a lot. Need a t-shirt with Heather holding a Hudson badge. That's not a bad idea. I know I missed some comments in here. Somebody asked about some Ram Charger parts and some of that stuff. I've got one Ram Charger. It's an 89. It's a running, driving truck, but I haven't had much interest in it, so I'll probably end up parting that out. Martin Designs has a delay tonight as well. Well, like I said, great time tonight. Had a lot of fun with the auctions. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stuff that I picked out, because that's what is important about it. It does support financially what I do the time I put into this, but it also adds cool stuff to your guys' collection. It decorates your man caves. It decorates your shops. That's what's cool about it, too. Tonight, if you remember a few weeks back, we had a viewer box that had several of the little mini mags, the old custom car magazines in them. We've got one of those tonight. Those are super cool pieces. Tonight, we're going to take a step back in time to May of 1960 for the May 1960 issue of Custom Cars. Now, these are the small ones, the ones that some of you guys mentioned you'd be able to hide them in your textbooks. Because these things are they're 8 inches by 5 inches, basically. Just over 5 by 8. Instead of the typical 8.5 by 11 of a normal piece of paper. But this May 1960 issue, Custom Cars, is a cool piece. Finding 57 Pontiac Chieftain fender. I assume you probably want fender emblems, Tony. You can give me a call. I can have Dad check the shelf. There's still a lot of Pontiac stuff out at his place, too. I don't remember off the top of my head if I've got any 57 Chieftain emblems left or not. But the May 1960 issue of Custom Cars with a cover price of 25 cents. Cost you a whole quarter to pick this one up in 1960. So we'll get started in this thing and kind of flip through it, check out some of the cool stuff. And here's some great pictures, even though this is all basically black and white. That's your color. That's what you get for color. Everything else, black and white. Got a couple of these in the mystery boxes. I don't have any of these. I've got some other magazines in the mystery boxes. Showtime USA. Northwest Top Cars participate in the Multnomah Hot Rod Council's 4th annual Roadster Show in Portland, Oregon. So I'll try to get these to where you guys can mag out some of these pictures. That's one thing about these smaller magazines. Sometimes they're a little tougher to see. But there are several cool pictures of the Portland show in here. A lot of good pictures. I'm just going to hold them up. Not a lot to talk about, but just a lot of great pictures from this show, which would have been in 59 probably. Steve's only got a few of these little magazines. He actually has this one. He can follow along with his own copy. Custom Thunderbird. And that's it for the show coverage from Portland. We'll flip forward a few pages to the Frenched Ford. 47 Ford Coupe with a lot of the traditional 50s and 60s custom stuff in it. Straight bar grill, flipper hubcaps. Not a real exotic build. Some shaved trim, not chopped or anything, but some shaved trim with, obviously, we see there's no trim left on the hood. We've got a custom grill. It basically looks like they molded in part of the Ford grill shell, put bars in it. Definitely a 60s era custom interior. Wide whites, flipper caps. All right, With, we've got to jump off. Good luck tomorrow, Jason. Hope everything goes smooth for you. So get some rest. On the Frenched 47 Ford article. The next article, we're going to check out a how-to article, and it's kind of different, but there again, a lot of these magazines back then had a lot of these how-to customizing trips. Twin taillights for a 56 Chevy. Yes, basically taking a 56 Chevy taillight housing and slapping a pair of 59 Caddy taillights in it. So You got to remember, this was magazine's May of 1960, so this coverage was put together right at the end of 59, right at the beginning of 60, already using 59 Cadillac bullet taillights in custom applications. So now, this next article was something kind of weird, and obviously in today's world, this is a little bit different, but it was pretty common back in the day. We've seen the pieces available when we look at some of the ads in the J.C. Whitney where you can order bars, flippers, things like that, where you could accessorize your car with. Well, this one in the Styling Studio article in May of 1960, it talks about modifying and styling up stock wheel covers. Now, in today's world of high dollar, one-off custom wheels that you can basically design and order anything you want, some guys are spending $10,000, $20,000 on a set of wheels. Back then, you couldn't do that. So they would get wheel covers and talk about all the different styles, the different additions you could get. You could order these pieces and screw them onto a lot of these are stock caps. Top, a stock 60 Pontiac wheel disc is dolled up by adding a clear plastic band that is supported by 4 aluminum spears. The band circles a chrome bullet. Center an exploded bowl of this view of this modified 59 Chevy cap. So these were stock wheel covers that they were modifying with add-on accessories for custom wheel covers. Definitely not something you even think about in today's world of aftermarket wheels. The next segment, and there's several cars in here we're going to look at, but it's a little bit off the beaten path from what we typically see in these custom car magazines from this era. We see a lot of Fords and Chevys, a lot of 40s and 50s stuff, a few old 30s hot rods in these magazines. They had an article in this one that was a little bit different, yet still pertinent. Stylized sports cars, starting off with a Jaguar, a 55 Jaguar that had been customized. Now, it did maintain the stock Jaguar engine. However, there's something a little bit different about this one. Not only did they customize it, they also souped it up. The first Jaguar to be equipped with a McCulloch supercharger. You see it right there. And Guy the Car Guy raised another question for those J.C. Whitney taillights. A lot of times back in the day, just like when we saw the using the Packard ornaments on some customizing tips a few weeks back, a lot of that stuff at that time was when you went down and bought it from the dealership. Some of that stuff they weren't even reproducing or mass producing in the aftermarket yet. Besides the Jaguar, something else a little bit different that we typically don't see in these old hot rod magazines, a stylized Porsche 356 Coupe. Obviously six-figure cars today, and this was a modified and stylized 356 Porsche back in 1960. Yep, the Pontiac 8-lug wheels, I remember that. Yep, dealer or junkyard, that's right, Randy. Some of that stuff you can find on a wrecked late model car. Number one, there was an old timer that was in a club, and every month the club wrote a different wheel cover as a group. Huh. So you don't see a lot of stylized Porsches back in this day. Now, Corvettes we did see a little bit of, and that's what we've got next, a 56 Corvette that does have some custom touches. Obviously, we can see the rear is definitely not stock on this 56 Corvette. The nose has been slightly modified, the same style, but obviously a sunken grille with what appears to be cabinet knobs in there for the grill. So there were some Corvettes that were stylized back in that era, so not completely out of the realm of normal to see custom Corvettes in these magazines. But next, once again, something a little off the beaten path, definitely customized with a custom grill and bumpers on a 56 Austin Healey. You know, a lot of times we don't think about these sports cars, but a lot of guys like sports cars. They like to road race them, but they also wanted to customize them back in the day. That's what these articles are paying tribute to, and definitely not something we see all the time in these magazines. And one more, once again, a 356 Porsche Carrera Coupe that has been customized as well. So Corvettes, yes, we see a little bit of that. Porsches, Austin Healey's, and Jaguars, not something that we saw on a regular basis being customized back in those days. Another tech tip article, we just saw adding taillights to a Chevy, something else that was pretty common back in the day. And it's kind of crazy to think about in today's world. But in 1960, most cars didn't come out with dual headlights until 57, 58, right in that window. Some cars had both in 57, like Mercury's. Some of them had single headlights, some of them had dual headlights. But one very popular customizing trick was going to quad headlights in a vehicle that had a single headlight. And this is an article about building your own custom quad rings to fit any car. Once again, just basic black and white, one shot at a time. None of this punch it up on YouTube and actually watch them do it and follow the steps. One picture, one step as you went along. That's how you did it. Steve's going to sign off tonight. Glad you hung out with us for a while tonight. Glad you had fun. Now, we've got to remember, this is 1960. May of 1960. This article is entitled Take Another Look, because you got to kind of get a second glance at this to figure out what it is. But when you look, it's kind of hard to. Ozark Fonks once found a customized Hillman Minx. That would be kind of different. Take another look. Remember, this is May of 1960. Let's take a look at this thing. Number one, that's how I changed my first fuel pump. Photo by photo in a magazine. Check this thing out. 1958 Chevy convertible. So this car is only 2 years old. Actually, because this is May of 60, it's early in 60. Year and a half old. Fully customized, obviously shaved. Obviously used the 58 Chevy side moldings, but customized it into one solid straight spear. Custom grill in the stock opening. Essentially a brand new car that they customized immediately. Custom taillights. Check this thing out. We've got a better shot of this thing from the side here. Cruiser fender skirts, full-length cruiser fender skirts. So kind of crazy to think about. That car's 2 years old and is already a full custom. Is it doorless? I don't think no, it's got doors. You can see the seams in it. You got to look pretty close, but you can see the brake right there in the side chrome. Tony's definitely digging it. It's a sharp car. There's no doubt about it. And speaking of customizing back in this window, another trick that became very popular that we saw in a lot of these magazines, and a trunk that sleeps six, yep, scoops. What's new in scoops? Ornate decorations in abstract form is theme for latest outburst of openings. Yes, custom scoops. That's right, Zach. I was just thinking the exact same thing. I wonder whatever happened to that 58 Impala. Scoops were a big deal back in this window. You can see how a lot of these custom scoops were added into a lot of these custom cars. And it was a big thing. And they did them everywhere. Roofs, quarter panels, obviously hoods. But this next page shows multiple examples. That's right, delicate and precise metalwork to trim the gap. We see scoops everywhere. Scoops in the roof, scoops in the quarter, scoops in the hood. Various different versions of how people were using scoops to customize their cars back in the late 50s going into the early 60s. And a few more examples here on the next page. These are so cool. I want to give you guys all a minute to check them out. Whiskey Biss needs to scoop ice cream. That's not a bad idea either. One more car we're going to look at real quick. Reader's Custom, a nifty New Yorker. This is a really, really wild 49 Ford. I honestly didn't even recognize it at first. Metal scoops or fiberglass, a lot of that stuff, some of it was shaped in metal and finished with Bondo or used fiberglass or lead. There was a lot of leading going on back then. Could have been lead, could have been sheet metal, could have been fiberglass, could have been Bondo. All those different mediums were in use at that point. But this 49 Ford, when you see the pictures, you'll understand why I had trouble identifying it for a second. Jeff's got to bail off. Glad you were here. Check this thing out. The only thing that's 49 Ford is literally this roof line. They've added fins. They've added quad headlights, a complete custom nose. Check that thing out. Definitely does not look like a 49 Ford. Now, another thing, a couple cars I want to check out in here. They have a section called Mail Call. I'll just hold this up for a second where readers send in a picture of their cars. And there's one car that I want to point out in this Mail Call segment on the next page. But guys just literally sent them a picture of their car and told them a little bit about it, and they would run some of it in the magazine. But on the next page there again, just like the 58 Impala that we just looked at, here we have its sister car, the 1958 Bonneville. 2-year-old, top-of-the-line Bonneville convertible, custom grille. Not a lot of custom touches to this car. We still see all the stock side moldings and everything on it. Of course, I'm a fan of 58 Pontiac since I've got one, and I think they're a great-looking car anyway. But there again, these cars are brand new, and they're customizing them essentially. So let's check out some of the ads. We love the ads. The ads are always fun. These little magazines, they usually have a couple pages in the front and a little bit at the back. There's not a lot of ads right in the middle of these things. So we'll start off with right here on this first area on page 4 and 5, the Shopper Showcase, a new AC arc welder. The new NHRA rule book was out, as well as the new Honest Charlie catalog, plus the new house catalog and the stylized emblem company for your club jacket. So let's take a look at these things. Arc welder, pretty primitive looking welder. The new 1960 NHRA rule book. Here's Honest Charlie's new catalog. Here's New House. We haven't heard a lot about New House, but we do see their ads quite a bit. I don't know what happened to them all. But we see the ad for the new House catalog, as well as you could order your club jackets through here. Prices include all lettering and emblems, $7 to $25 in club lots of 6 or more for jackets. $25 was a lot of money back then. These ads still work? I doubt it. Absolutely no websites. You can't look them up on the internet because there's no websites in any of them. So that's kind of what there was. There was not a lot of stuff in these for ads. We'll check out another one, just like we talked about the accessory hubcaps and stuff. Buy Right Auto Specialties. Make more money from auto mechanics. Buy Right Specialties, custom wheel covers, custom exhaust, custom skirts, custom air cleaners, go-karts. And like I said, they get that stuff into the front of the magazine. They get it, then they get into the meat. Then we're back to our show in Portland, Oregon. We'll flip to the back because we got one more great ad on the back cover. Actually, the inside of the back cover is another car. We got to check that out. 1955 Lincoln. We didn't look at this. Tony says 58 Chieftain is his dream car. Well, after we get off, Tony, go to my channel and search 58 Chieftain, and you can check out the video on mine. So, it's just a 4-door top, but I do like it. It's a pretty sharp car. So, check out. I've got and I do have a video on it. It's from a couple years ago, but I did do a video on that car, so you can check it out. But on the back cover, Honest Charlie's. Customer Rod, now see this. New items. That's right, Ozark Fox. The NHRA rules more like suggestions. It's kind of how a lot of the guys read them back then, for sure. What's Honest Charlie got on sale this month? Can't hardly read it. Some of the stuff is so small. Of course, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a craze. The latest craze from California, fuzzy mirror muffs. Made of oh-so-soft, fluffy Angora fur. One size fits nearly all inside mirrors. Not fuzzy dice. This was a fuzzy deal that went around your mirror. I don't know if you guys can make it out or not. They were $1 a piece. Leo's still waiting on his spy ring. Hubcap spinners, $1.95 a piece, where you can order individual spinners to add to your caps. Tube grills, obviously a pretty common accessory back in that day. Tuned exhaust. Exhaust cutouts with dash control. Triple chrome plated lake pipes. Honest pinstripe, 12 separate designs per set. We could order pinstripe. I'm sure that was a tape kit. But a lot of cool stuff. Custom grills, custom pinstripes, exhaust cutouts. Red just finished a Hot Rod article on Honest Charlie's. So it just says exhaust cutouts with dash control. It doesn't say it's electric. So I'm guessing it was probably a cable operated deal is what I'm guessing. That's all they had about it right down here in the very bottom corner. Nope, didn't have any flamethrowers on sale that month. So anyway, there it is, the May 1960 issue of Custom Cars Magazine. Robert's got to bail off. Had fun. Glad you enjoyed it tonight, Robert. Glad you hung out with us. So, there again, out of the viewer box, huge shout out to the viewer that helps us out with some of these. And some of you other guys have sent us great viewer boxes as well. Whenever we can mix some of this stuff in, we absolutely will do it. Got a few more of these to go that were in that box, so we'll keep working through some of these over the next several weeks. That's right, Randy. Some actually just had a bolt-on cover, but that one listed an actual dash control. So I'm assuming that meant it was probably a cable because it said cut out dash controls. Cool micro rags, says Mile the Car Guy. Glad you guys enjoyed it. The magazines are fun. You know, these little ones don't have as much in them, but we can get through one in a night. The big magazines, we're having to split them up. But still a lot of cool stuff in there. Glad you guys like this one. Still got a handful of these coming straight out of the viewer box. A huge shout out to the viewer for helping us out with these. And we're definitely going to get to some more of these. Zach's going to bail off tonight. Glad you were here. A couple more things we want to cover. We want to talk about the new raffle. We're going to show you a few things that are going in those raffle boxes. We're going to talk about some new inventory. We're going to talk about some next week's videos yet. A few more things to go, but we're just about done. But I know a lot of you guys want to know about the raffle. Who's in? Who's not in? What's in the box? All kinds of cool stuff. So, let me grab the box. Boxes. No, Gray Kitty is not in the box. Scott's got to jump off tonight. All right. We have 3 boxes for this month's raffle. Third place is going to get a small box, 6x4x4. Second place will get a medium box, 12x6x6. Okay, we see these? And the grand prize winner will get this one. It is 16x12x8. So, as of right now, I've got most everything dumped in here. I'm going to sort it out a little bit later. There are right at 35 pieces in here right now. Okay? This will be split up amongst the other boxes, but obviously these smaller boxes are going to get a much, much smaller piece of the pie. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm going to show you a few pieces. As of right now, there are peekaboo, peekaboo. Five cans. Seven license plates. 7 license plates. I'm going to show you one of the license plates. Just one. Because it's the coolest. And I want everybody to know there's something cool. Check that out. That one's going in there. 36. 7 license plates. Yeah, you could easily fit a raccoon in this bigger box. No doubt about it. There are matchbooks. There are a couple of what? There are 6 emblems. There are a handful of Tootsie toys. There's a couple of other toys. There's a couple of magazines. Just like we talked about. Somebody's going to get the owner's report on a Hudson from the Popular Mechanics. Matchbooks with awesome artwork on them. Little Tootsies. So, 35 pieces altogether. Some of them are smaller, cheaper pieces. Some of them are bigger, better pieces. Obviously, some great license plates, some cool cans. All awaits the winner. Okay. All right. Looks like you guys are excited. Oh, no Playboys in there. Just some cool old Popular Mechanics or maybe some other magazines. We'll see. Right now, like I said, 35. There's 35 pieces. There may be a few more that get shuffled in there. That's basically going to put us in the big box. Will have 18 to 20 pieces in it, basically. The small box, 8 to 10, or the medium box, 8 to 10, and the small box, 4 to 6, roughly. One may, the big box may end up with 21. The other one may end up with 10, and the other, I don't know. It just depends. Like, I want to put, even the small box, I want to have something cool in there. So we're going to kind of have to try to play that by ear and see what we can figure out. But even the small box is going to have 4 or 5 little pieces in it. So who's in right now? Who is in the big Buick oil can for this month's surprise raffle? It's not a total surprise. I'm showing you a few tidbits, but there's some stuff in there that I think you guys are going to dig. Nope, there's no $100 bills in there. But who's in this month or this week? We're getting a good batch of names in here. Oh, knocked a couple of them out. We'll have to grab. I'm sure some of those names are looking familiar to some of you guys. Drop that one. Don't want to drop that one. Make sure I get him back in there. All right. Whose name's in here? That was last week's. That's the first packet. We read those off last week. This week, who got in? Mark Falcon, Tweedly D. Mark Falcon. I think Mark's in it to win it this month. Of course, he did win last month, so I think he's playing to win again this month. Dennis Chapman, Michael Glagola, and Big Job. Those names all were added to the big Buick oil can for this month's raffle this week. Bill, this is going to jump off. That's fine, Bill. We're just about ready to wrap this thing up. But it's going to be interesting. Now, what's a little bit different about this is since I won't be here next week, we're giving this away on the 5th, 2 weeks from tonight when I get back. So next week, like I said, we're going to get on and do something. I don't know what, since it's going to be kind of winging it, but we'll have something put together depending on how my weekend goes. And I hope to find some cool stuff on the road so we have some auctions where I don't even know what we're going to have in the auction yet, if I can find some stuff. I got a few places that I'm going to check on the way and see if I can come up with some cool auction items for next Sunday night. But the raffle, being March 5th, will be the following Sunday. Now, we'll get together on some Toy Tuesdays. We will see you next Sunday, but I won't have the packets with me of who gets in this week. So the next 2 weeks will all be, we'll go over all that day before the drawing that night. So keep that in mind. March 5th is when we're giving this away, and that will be the next time that I am back here in the office. But it's going to be cool stuff. I know you guys are going to dig it. Anyway, what else is happening? I did pick up some cars this week, but only one thing that was kind of interesting. The other stuff was newer. But I did pick up one kind of a unique one. 1937 Oldsmobile 8-cylinder. Been sitting for a really, really long time. I bought it with a group of other cars, and the nice thing about it is the car's been sitting outside for years, but the grill, the headlights, all the stuff off the front end, the fenders are still in the car, but all of that trim they had taken off years ago and put it inside of a station wagon that I got. So I'm going to take those pieces out, reunite them with the car, and then get you a video on that. That's a super cool car. 37 Oldsmobile 8-cylinder. There was a 6-cylinder and an 8-cylinder in 37, and they were completely different, a whole different nose and everything. The grill was totally different on the 6-cylinder than the 8-cylinder. So that's kind of a unique car. We'll bring you some content on that soon as well. What's coming up this week? I've got a lot of stuff in the can that we haven't shared with you yet. Still got 1 or 2 videos from my buddy's yard. Still got a little bit of Auburn Cord Duesenberg stuff. And I did get a bunch of new inventory shot last week, as well as a little bit more in the new yard. So I've got kind of a menagerie of stuff. we'll see how it puts together. I still haven't showed you the 69 Charger yet. I've still got that video done. We need to get that 69 Charger video up. Like I said, a little bit of Auburn Court Duesenberg left. My buddy's yard, new inventory. We got a lot of stuff coming up. What did I shoot the other day? 64 LeSabre, 69 Riviera, 76 Le Mans two-door. That's some of them. Plus some stuff in the new yard. I thought there was one or two more new inventories that I shot the other day. There probably is, but I don't remember them off the top of my head. But regardless, we'll have some more cool stuff to prop up, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens Friday. I may have something new for Friday night that I don't even know yet. Depends on what happens when I'm out on the road. So, but anyway, we will be here Tuesday night. I will catch Tuesday night. We will do Toy Tuesday live at 7, in theory, as long as this thing works. Because last Tuesday night, I started getting nervous. Then the third time it caught and went. But I didn't know if we were going to make it last Tuesday. So, at 7 o'clock Tuesday night, if I'm not on yet, I'm trying. I'm trying to make this thing work and their new format on getting onto the lives from my iPhone. So bear with me if I'm not on right at 7. The Le Mans is complete-ish, but transmission's out. The transmission's in the trunk. It hit a deer on the front, so the header panel and grills is banged up. It's a little rough, but it's still pretty much there. But there again, any of that 70 stuff, I got a chance to snag it. I'm going to try to snag it. So we'll be bringing you that video as well as some of this other new inventory here in the very near future. But that being said, that gets us to the bottom of my worksheet. Wraps us up for another Sunday night. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Glad my voice hung in there. I was getting a little bit worried there for a minute. And glad you guys had fun tonight. Congratulations to all of our winners. And some of you guys got skunked again tonight. I apologize. He'll catch you some next week, hopefully. You never know. Next week we'll find some more cool stuff and have some more fun. So I'm curious to see what I find this week, and I hope I find some cool stuff for the auctions. Like I said, I got a couple places I'm going to check. I don't have anything locked in. I thought about throwing a little box of stuff in the truck just for backup, but we'll see. But we'll get on and we'll do something next Sunday. I just don't know exactly what yet, but we will definitely jump on and do something. So, and like I said, if something goes completely haywire and it doesn't work, I will post something on both YouTube and Facebook saying, hey, something went awry and it isn't going to work tonight, and I will let you know. 2 weeks from now, we will be giving away the raffle boxes for this month. He's still talking about the auctions tonight. Great. I'm glad you guys are excited. Get that excited about the auctions when I find stuff that you guys enjoy and is going to help decorate your man cave and shop. So, Michael had fun tonight. Glad lots of you guys saying you had a great time tonight. Mark already knows right now. He said if more Norma had been on, he wouldn't have gotten that plate. And like I said, that wraps us up for episode number 152. 3 full years in the books. Almost, it's crazy to think about that starting this 3 years ago, that was about all that, that we had a decent crowd on Facebook, but almost nobody on YouTube. And, and Facebook's gotten so weird that we don't even get that big a crowd on Facebook now. It's pretty much all YouTube. But I'm glad you guys keep coming back. I'm glad you guys make this what it is, which is a chat where we all share our knowledge and we all have fun. I'm just the lucky one that gets to sit here in front of the webcams and hang out with you. But you guys are what makes this what it is. So thanks to all of you guys for supporting what we do here. Like I said, shirts and stickers still available. Cristobal, first time here, and it was fun. Well, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had fun. I do work hard building these episodes every week, trying to put something quality out there. So I'm glad you had fun for your first time here, and glad you enjoyed it, and hope you come back. Roger's going to sign off. But like I said, these shirts are available. I've got everything in black, just a few sizes in gray, but I am going to do a different run of shirts. So if you want one of these, now's the time to get it. Stickers obviously are here and ready to go. So anyway, and if you got questions, my number is in the description part of the video. Just click on that. Give me a shout tomorrow. We'll get it all figured out. No problem. Whether it's auction winnings, whether you want a shirt, whatever you want, or if you need parts for your car, just call me. You guys still call me Johnny. I just don't get that. It's a huge compliment that you guys even compare me to Johnny Carson. Obviously, I'm not near at that level, but I do try to put together a good product every week, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. That's right, Throwing Sparks. The cars are getting older, and so are we. There is absolutely no doubt about that. With that, I hope to see you all Tuesday night for Toy Tuesday at 7. Should be able to see you next Sunday night. If there's any variation, whether it's going to be a little bit later or if something goes haywire and I can't, I will post. If not, I will. If you don't see a post saying something changed, I will plan on being on at 7 next Sunday night in some way, shape, or form. It will probably be a short version, but it will be YouTube only. I won't try to run on both of them while I'm running off my laptop out on the road. So unless I could run off the phone, I may run off my phone on Facebook. So that's always a possibility. It'd be a little more difficult to see, but I may run Facebook on my phone and do that. So with that, I hope everybody has a great week. I hope everybody had a great week last week. I hope everybody has a great week coming up. We'll see you Tuesday night. We'll get some more cool content out there. And definitely hope to see you back here next Sunday night for Sunday Night Live Chat. Glad everybody had fun tonight. Thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.